Good morning, everybody. Rex Rump will be back here for another episode. We overslept, and we've got an aurora, so this is our opportunity to make it into the workshop, but we're super heavy. We're not going to be able to get up that rope, so we need to drop some stuff, and we need to drop it quick. I'm going to get rid of all of the kind of materials that we have. Try to drop some tools that we don't need. And hopefully we can make our way into the workshop before the sun rises. I'm just going to drop some stuff on the floor and we'll come back and get organized later, but we don't want to miss this. We don't want to miss this. I'm not sure exactly why I'm so heavy. It's all the firewood. We'll drop that when we go outside. So, briefly for a moment thought about this when I was going to sleep last night, and I thought that it might be a good idea to not sleep for the full 10 hours, but lazy Rex just went for it and almost missed our chance. But it looks like it's gonna last long enough to make it. So we have our note, which is what we're gonna need to get in there, and we have some materials that we can use once we're inside. Not 100% sure what we're gonna find, but we can at least drop off the materials in there and get ready for a subsequent session for crafting things. I believe once we're in there, or once we've accessed it for the first time, we can access it without the aurora. Not 100% sure about that. If the door stays unlocked once it's been unlocked the first time. But as long as we can make it over there before the sun rises, we'll at least get inside. We can have ourselves a little look. One thing I did forget that would have been nice to have is the flashlight that works only when the aurora is occurring. Don't really need it, but it would have been fun to kind of show how that works. The battery is totally dead until the aurora's out, and then you can use it, and it'll recharge itself. I got stuck there last time too. It's a weird little spot. So if you've never done this before, it's kind of like a little obstacle course to get across all these buildings, and you have to watch your step in a few places, but for the most part it's not too bad. Just kind of send it. I'm worried about the time, so we'll loot all this stuff later. Mostly the hard part's over. Walking across the rafters there and some of those iron beams. And then once you're out on the deck here, we've made it. We'll walk ourselves to the front of the door, and you can see the light is active. And should be able to get ourselves in. Let's read that in a second. Take that. Some firewood. Green light. In we go. Nice. So now maybe that door just stays open. That'd be sweet. Yeah, we can't close it. So I think we're in. Alright guys, we made it. see that it's empty. I'm gonna bring the light up if it gets dark, just so that we can... Is this a safe house? Oh, look, it is. Let's go. Clear some junk, move some stuff around if we need to. And in we go. Chop. Got a bow, a rock. Didn't bring a weapon. I think there's a wolf in here. At least that's the rumor on the street. Gotta watch out for these wires. Those will kill even a pilgrim. Oh cool, there's a flashlight in here so we can kind of show how it works. So you can see the battery's fully charged now, and turn it on, you get yourself some light. Without the aurora, this thing is literally useless. It just adds weight to your backpack. It has no function whatsoever. The light will floating gear. It's kind of weird. It's hard to grab this stuff. It's like not where it's supposed to be. Wonder if we can grab that thing, put it back in a better spot. Looks like we can't. Just set it down for now. Is it still floating? Weird. Okay. Watch out for these. Okay, here's the workbench. It's got some tools on it already. Cool, so there is a workbench in here, that's great. We'll come back with all of our pelts and guts, kind of stage everything in here. Lots of coal. I wonder if there's going to be a forge. Here's the ammo workbench. Ammo workbench requires some scrap lead to make bullets. Some gunpowder can be made with dusting sulfur and stump remover, which we found none of yet. And then we can make cartridges with empty casings. So if you are going to be using the firearms, always make sure to keep your empty casings. And that way, if you're going to do a longer run and need to build more ammo, you'll have as many bullets as you started with. The casings don't go away unless you lose them. Guess we're just going to loot this place out with the sunrise, and maybe we can go get our gear and get organized for the day, and then have a nice long day of crafting some clothing and some gear. I'm not seeing a forge, but we haven't looked at everything yet. To walk over some of these wires. I'm not 100% sure that they're dead. Oh, so that was the aurora ending. The battery just immediately depleted to 0, and you could hear some of the machinery turn off. I think that's something on the ammo workbench, maybe, which maybe means that we need an aurora to use it. We'll double check that. We'll build some ammo just to see what it's like. So more coffee just in case we fall in the water again. You guys watched the previous episode. Join me in a journey of nearly freezing to death in Forlorn Muskeg as we tried to go a long way around to unlock the top half of Bleak Inlet. That was embarrassing and pretty close. As close as Reckless Rex wants to get to the end. Pretty good amount of gear in here. Just gonna kind of quickly loot everything and then we'll go back and look at what we grabbed once we're done, unless there's something super exciting to talk about. I think I've maybe been in this building like once, so this is kind of cool. It's kind of like seeing it for the first time. Hey, those are cool. Combat pants are pretty much the best pants that you can get. Finish looting these lockers and we'll look at them a little more closely. That's our second revolver in the map. Alright, so we got a little kitchen area. I picked up a hacksaw, so now I can deconstruct these metal shelves if I needed to. It's a good way to get scrap metal, but you gotta kind of be careful about which ones you're looking at, because some of them take several hours. Like this is 3 hours, it gets you 8 pieces of scrap metal. And then there's something like this metal bucket, which is 15 minutes for one. So what, it would take an hour to get 4 of them and 2 hours to get 8 of them. So whilst you have to go find 8 buckets, it's actually much more efficient than cutting down a single shelf. And that is the same is true for various different pieces of metal that are available for breaking down and using as material. In Pilgrim, it doesn't really matter. Like, time is not really an issue. Your resources, they don't deplete nearly as fast as maybe on some harder difficulties. So you can kind of just send it and just get what you want. But something to kind of be aware of. It doesn't look great, but at least they're lined up. Okay, so let's look at these combat pants real quick. We'll just go straight to our guy here, put the combat pants on. So they're kind of in rough shape, but as you can see, they've got a good amount of protection. They're more waterproof than the work pants, and they have no sprint penalty, whereas these have a -3. So you can see in the bottom left there, I've got a 93% sprint, and when I put the combat pants on, 96. So the only thing that's costing me now is the boots, which I'm going to swap out for running shoes pretty soon here. And then this sweater has 1. So once we get running shoes on and take off the boots, we'll be at 99% because I'm going to keep that sweater. I do like wearing that sweater. What else did we pick up while we were there? I got a light shell jacket, a ski jacket. It's all kind of heavy duty stuff that Reckless Rex doesn't need in his life. 2 pairs of pants, you can increase your warmth bonus, but combat pants will suffice. Rex is pretty much looking kitted out. It'd be nice to have some socks. He's just in there just like sweating out his boots. Maybe we can track down some climbing socks or something and have him with a full proper kit. Alright, so I'm super heavy now, and I don't need half of this gear. but we're gonna drop all of our materials. So I think I'll bring a couple of these boxes over to the workbench, and then we'll just have all of our materials right there on hand, so we can work and reach right for our materials. It's kind of a cool workbench. It has like a little pegboard in the back. I'm going to leave those quality tools right there because we'll pick those up to make certain things. So all of the metal will stay here. This stuff will stay here. Stump remover will stay here. The casings will stay here. It's interesting they call these tools and not materials, but there's a couple things like that, like kind of the fishing line. We have a hook somewhere. We might have left it at home. But double check your tools when you're trying to organize your materials, because some of this stuff is more for crafting larger items or more complex items than a tool. The gunpowder, I guess, you can use as like accelerant. But the casings are literally just materials, so I don't know if that was maybe an oversight or whatever. It doesn't really matter, but the important thing is that you just double check, so you're not missing something, especially if you start moving things around. We'll just leave all of the firewood that we picked up here. 31 sticks, that's why we were so heavy. Maybe we go get that other metal and try to get it out of its floating state. It's like, I think it's just a floating box. It doesn't want to be on the ground. There's a counter underneath it. Let's see what happens when we... That's so weird. It's definitely a little glitchy. Counter and metal box. Let's see what happens when we destroy the counter. Just curious. Box gonna go away? Nope. Solve the problem though. Now it's on the ground. So this one can be our firewood box. I don't know that we're gonna need a fire in here, but we can boil water while we work and make ourselves pretty set for the rest of this run. I mean, access to this workshop is, I think, pretty much guaranteed our full recovery. We'll craft the rest of this stuff. Leave a couple of matches in here. We'll leave the rest of these matches back at home. Hold on to the accelerant. We'll sort out our clothes at the trailer, and we'll go get all of our materials and come back for some crafting. The other things I want to do before we end the run, which we've got several days left, is go swoop all of those memento notes that we have. So we've got the lighthouse, which kind of indicated that there's probably just like a flare up there or something. But it'll be worth going to get just to kind of clear the map. And then we saw one at the Hunter's Blind, where we were first exploring our way of trying to figure out how to get out of the bottom half of this map. And then there's one at the end of the road in the back of that truck. And I think we have the memento notes, the authorization to go unlock all of those. So we'll do that. But maybe we craft some stuff first just to see how all this stuff works and finish getting Rex kitted out. I don't know that there's really anything left I want to leave in here, unless we were to kind of turn this into our base. I don't think that we will. I'm gonna put this first aid kit over here. Oh, there's already one there. Oh no, that's the toolbox. This kind of was talking about earlier. It's just kind of a cool look. Do you have any first aid? Painkillers can go in there. Bandage can go in there. Put some mushrooms in there since we have so many. Haven't found many rose hips. So we're gonna go back and get our materials now. Drop off a bunch of this other stuff. We'll come back. I picked up this while I was talking. I have no idea how that could be useful from this point. We'll bring it back to the trailer just because it's obviously of no use to us in here. But maybe you would carry that with you to come back around to the top of Leak Inlet? I'm not sure. It's kind of strange. Maybe on a more challenging difficulty, there's less likelihood of having a rope in the ravine, so you'd bring it with you. Another hunting knife. It's pretty cool out here on the edge of the map. The bummer is that every time we come over here we have to do that parkour obstacle course. There's no way to lay a plank down or anything and make our access more straightforward, but it's not that hard. It just takes us an extra minute. I'm hesitant to drop down there because I'm not sure if that slope is too steep. To walk back up. Am I just like super heavy? Yeah, I'm pretty heavy. I'll go back this way anyways because there's a bunch of stuff that we overlooked when we were racing against the clock to make the aurora. I don't know that there's anything really particularly interesting that's left to find. Not a bad, turned out to not be such a bad spawn. When I first started, I initially thought there was only, a couple of structures to loot and kind of limited resources to be found. But they really pack it in with the Pilgrim mode to find a lot of stuff. Got a really good kit of clothing now, and I mean, we've pretty much got every tool that we could think of. No forge, so we won't be able to make any. I don't think we'll be able to make any arrowheads. So maybe it's going to be a firearms hunting strategy after all. That's the first stim that we found. Those are good to have in case you are redlining. Oh, I can't even get out here if I wanted. Let's see how bad this hurts. No problem. Alright, I can't can't sprint because I'm grotesquely heavy. Already tired too. Interesting. I think I'm just gonna break one of these down. So I'm tired of having to walk around. I was just about to say, sometimes it's worth it to break down the crates anyways because there's stuff inside of them. We're gonna get super lightweight here now that we've kind of got a mission in the neighborhood and we're not walking around. I'm gonna strip down to the kind of disaster style kit. The wind must have picked up last night and blown out the fire because this is still snow. I had 2 hours on the fire, and if it had kept burning, it would have that would have been water, but it must have got windy at some point. I used all of the water purification tablets, so it's going to sit in there for an hour. All right, quick inventory. That's all empty. That's all empty. And that's all empty. So we'll start with the food. That's the easiest one. This goes, all of this goes. Now you're going to put the tea in there. Keep the rabbit. Eventually we'll come back for the coffee. Maybe I'll put that in a different place. Look at all the sardines. Alright, that's a reasonable amount of food. We got 8 kilos of food that has been found. The only thing we've eaten, the exception of the sodas, which I was going to try to drink all of those, and I still might come back because I just don't like looking at them in here for some reason. They just, I don't know. Is with that MRE to get it started. And other than that, it's scavenged food, so it's pretty good. Alright, the clothing. Let's see, we decided we were going to go back to tennies, right? Which ones are in the best shape? 66%. And I'm going to come back to this, take some stuff that could potentially turn into leather so we can fix everything up. And maybe these scarves we can break down. This beanie, this cowl, a couple mittens. Let's do that real quick and see what needs to be fixed. What are we going to keep wearing? This all looks good. Those still look good. Definitely want to fix these. Rex still doesn't know how to sew, so it takes him a minute. 71%, let's go again. Getting thirsty, so take a quick drink of water. Oh for 3, just destroying cloth. Alright, those are fully fixed. Get the long johns back up. I think we were at like +8. I forgot to look. +13 now, so serious improvement. Does this need leather or? Yeah, we're good. Something tells me it's going to be tough for Rex to fix those on the first try. Yeah. We've got gloves we can break down for more leather. And we've got scarves we can break down for cloth. Try it one more time. Come on, Rex, take your time. Excellent. 86%. We could probably do that one more time. So plus 13 with 2 sweaters, a down vest, windbreaker, a couple of hats, cargo pants, wool long johns, and sneakers. 99% sprint. Light fast. Gotta love it. Alright. Where were we? Talking about equipment. Oh man. What's all in here already? Just the clothing weighs that much? It's because of all the boots. Make ourselves a little shoe rack. Running shoes on the bottom. Get 3 in there? That'd be sweet. That looks like maybe just 2. Oh, I saw it. There they are. Those the trail boots. Put those on the top. Have some work boots in the middle. More running shoes. We have 5 pairs of running shoes. 6 pairs of running shoes because I'm wearing one. It's a lot of footwear. Put everything on sale. Okay. Pick up everything. Just gonna end up leaving all this stuff over in the workshop because that's where it needs to be anyways. Alright. Oh, I had a 2-kilo rug in my backpack the whole time. Alright, back to the tools. Keep the bad stuff first. None of the flares are needed. That'll actually just disappear. I'm gonna hold on to all the sewing kits because I don't know what we'll be doing over in the workshop. I mean, we probably don't need 4 of them, but 2 should be fine. Putting the bow away because I have no arrows. What did I have? 1. Some rifle ammo. That pistol's in great shape. 99%. That one's not in great shape. Let's load up the pistol and walk around with it. It's like an old Colt Python or something like that, a 357 Magnum. Alright, leaving this rope here. What else did we decide we were going to drop? I'll bring these good tools over to the workshop, even though we've got the quality tools. I'll bring those with us. We'll refuel the lamp. Leave the rest of it behind. And we don't need that. This thing's maxed out. Let's see, we could probably Yeah, that's what I should have done, is put the food in the container. And tools in the fridge. We'll come back and do that later. Alright, so I'm not going to be able to climb the rope. Maybe we just have a sleep and then come back and do everything in the morning. How's our fire doing? Wind keeps picking up out here. Bummer. I wonder if this little corner might be a better place to have a fire. Maybe a little more protected. I mean, there's still like a little tunnel for the wind to come through. Alright, there's another 2-hour fire. If we supervise it, it'll do better. We've got some stuff we can prepare here. There's 30 minutes. I think it looks good now. 22 till melted, so we shouldn't have any problem in another 30 minutes. About to have plenty of water. Getting hungry too. I don't have a whole lot of food. We might need to bust out that rifle and go find that bear. Might be a better way to spend our time in the morning and then do the workshop after we've secured some food, because we could get hungry in there and then we'll be left high and dry. I'm just going to drop all the stuff that's still curing. Give it some more time while we adjust our plans. Where'd the door go? Just gonna stay outside and supervise this fire because I'm over 2 on leaving it alone. 39 minutes until boiled. Anything we can do? We can make tinder. Sure. Seven minutes, 5 minutes. I don't think we have anything cooked here. Let's put these in here and hope we don't go hungry. Oh, we've got these. You can eat the burdock root after it's been prepared. That'll keep you from starving. Alright, we're now exhausted. We're just gonna cook this stuff up. That's all we got left. Uh-oh. Oh no. I let the fire go out. The rabbit didn't make it. That was my fault. That was not the wind, I don't think. That's alright. We'll come back to that at a later time. He's tired. That's what happens when you're tired. You start making mistakes. Gotta rest up. Alright, that should take us through the evening. We made ourselves a cool little zone over here, didn't we? Yeah. Hydrate to be great. Alright, everything's looking good. Sleep for 10 hours. See you guys in the morning. Alright, good morning. Sun is rising. And I think we're gonna go try to find this bear who was on the bridge. Got 4 shots to do it. He was there a couple days ago. We haven't seen him since then. But we know he's around. Why are you so heavy, Rex? What are you holding? Oh, I'm tempted to just... We gotta do this real quick. Sorry, guys. This is gonna drive me nuts. It's just impeding on our ability to keep a cohesive inventory. We'll just remember that the coffee's in there. Alright, so that's food. This is now going to be supplies. The bow fits in there now too. That's nice. We'll drop those on the ground. We don't need all these matches. We don't need any of these matches. I'm still holding something that's making me heavy. Oh, 7 liters of water. That'll do it. And a rifle and a revolver. And we're still holding all the clothes as well. Okay. So, can like place water, which is kind of cool. Just like line up your bottles and then grab and go and kind of get a visual inventory of what you're carrying. Once you get like a backstock of water, I like to put them in a container and then just like max out the container. So make sure I have like 15 liters of water in here. And that way I know if that's full with a water bottle on top of it, that it's fully stocked. And then anything that goes on top of it is something I can just grab. And if there's no water on top, then I would make another brew of water so that I can then grab them and always have a full stock sitting underneath. Alright, we are light and spry. Not as light as I'd like to be. It's all these torches. I mean, they're not really super heavy, but they're a lot to look at. One of the hardest parts of the game, right? Just figuring out what to carry and what to leave behind. Alright, so I wanted to do some crafting and make at least some clothing. And a rabbit skin hat, but after looking at our food supply, we are a little light on nourishment. So we've also been talking about some tricks with the rifle, and we saw the bear. So maybe we can do a couple things all at once and take down a bear. Our hunger concerns will be over. And I can show you this little trick that I was talking about with the rifle. That is if we see him. I don't know if he patrols a larger area of this map. There's not a whole lot of places he could go, especially if he came all the way down to the road. I imagine he's either out on the ice or maybe back in the woods up towards the cabin a little bit. We'll walk back here and check it out. Still holding that 25% max health. Not a whole lot of room for major error, but X is warmer than he was. Definitely not losing a lot of condition because of the cold. And I'm not going to fall in the water again, so I think we're in pretty good shape. Yeah, I don't know where this bear is going to be. We also want to make sure we keep our distance, because if we see him and get too close, he'll run away. It's not like any of the other difficulties where he'll hold his ground and even charge you if you get too close. Which is like what we were talking about earlier, the hunting on Pilgrim mode can be harder. So yesterday he was on this bridge. Nice to have like one stick so I can show this little trick. Or do we have a meeting? Yeah, that'll work. See him. What do you think? Are some wolves? We only have four bullets. I mean, those guys are scared of me from a long ways away. Like, I couldn't even take a pistol shot at those guys from here, I don't think. I don't know which way to go. I guess we can trend this way and see if he's patrolling the ice. And if not, we can run up to the lighthouse and grab the memento hint. And then kind of be done with this area over here. I'm gonna need to find some food though, because I've got an uncooked rabbit fillet and one like half kilo slab of venison, which is probably really only gonna take me through the day. Oh, was that him? There he is. Alright folks, we got ourselves a bear. I don't know how close I can get, so this looks pretty close. Okay, so here's what we do. We get the rifle out, and you drop something so that you get your little marker up, right? And it'll just show you, like, if I'm aiming there, like, I get that looks like it might be hitting him in the head, but I can't really tell. It's such a thick sight. But with this thing, I can put that right on his head and then basically just like quick scope him. So if we're satisfied with the headshot, like right there, boom. One shot, one kill. Make sure you pick up your casing. So I don't know, maybe that's a little bit cheating, or at least exploiting the game, but if the rifle were built a little bit better so you didn't lose all of your visibility, probably be a little more accurate with it. Needless to say, got ourselves a bear. I'm going to quarter him up and walk him back to the trailer. So it takes 2 hours to quarter the thing up, but you end up with some extra weight because of that. You kind of carry like the entrails or whatever. The bags that we quarter will end up weighing more than this 35 kilos of meat, but it should take quite a bit less time. So just to see, it would take me 4.5 hours just to do the meat, and the hide, talking about 6.5 hours to get this thing all cut up. But if I quarter it, it's 2 hours no matter what. I can use any tool I like, and then you can just do it and then shuttle your food back. Oh, he's gonna get cold. Oh, we gotta keep an eye on this. This is gonna get a little sketchy. Oof. Alright, so I'm gonna bring one bag of food. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna bring the guts. I picked up an extra bag. We gotta remember coming back for that. And now we gotta go, because this blizzard came in. I got cold. And Rex is back into a tricky situation. I might be able to start a fire. I'm a little bit lost, not gonna lie. Did I go the right way? I don't know if I did. Yeah, I did. That was an unfortunate time for a blizzard to come in. Everything else is looking pretty good though. I'm confident, relatively confident, that we can make it home. But what kind of an episode would it be with Reckless Rex without another dangerous scenario of stumbling around in a blizzard? Oh, he's not even close to warm in there. We gotta keep moving. I think I do have an energy drink, which might be kind of a cool thing to use, just because we have it. That'll allow me to sprint home. He's really cold. He's losing health quick. This is actually a pretty dangerous situation here, guys. I wonder if I can make... We're gonna have to hit the stem. Luckily we found it. Now we just have to sprint home. I think the stim works for like 60 seconds. You kind of get like unlimited sprint. But when it finishes, it finishes. And you're done. So you better get where you're going. And he says it's good stuff. Get where you're going and get healthy. I don't have any fire in the trailer, but should be able to cover. Yeah, I think I would have died if I hadn't hit that stim. The biggest mistake there was harvesting the carcass when the blizzard rolled in the middle of it. That was just unfortunate timing. Everything seemed fine, and then I was halfway through that animation, and then he got really cold. You could see it was -17 in the truck. That's away from the weather. Who knows how cold it was just running around in the blizzard. So Rex dodges another bullet. Barely. Used an energy drink to try to sprint. That didn't really work. And then, I mean, it got desperate. He was losing that health really quickly, so I had to hit that stim, which is going to be probably the only stim that we find. So we're going to have to kind of be careful from here on out, because that was like our last lifeline of second chances. So as you can see, the Pilgrim mode is easy until it's not, right? You're going, everything's fine, and the weather, the blizzards they can get you really quick, even in Pilgrim. Granted, we're working with 25% health. I mean, if I had had full health, it wouldn't be a problem at all. It would have been a little bit cold. We would have had a significant amount of time to get back to shelter, maybe even make a fire in that trailer, that overturned shipping container. But I didn't even want to stop there and see if that was possible, because he was losing health so quickly. I mean, I got into like a sliver. We can actually go in and see how low he got. We'll finish harvesting this bear and see if I jumped the gun too early. I mean, we started with 25%, right? At the beginning of that quartering animation, and then we got down 2% health. Yeah, we would have died. We would have died if I hadn't hit that stim, like when I hit that stim. Because I was calling it 30%. Oh, because I've got the +5 for well fed. So I went from 30% to like probably 10% just in the course of preparing that bear. And then we started running. I was lost for a second too. That was scary. But I found the road and started sprinting back, and I mean, we barely got out of there. 2%. I've never seen 1, but that's as low as I've ever seen, is 2%. We probably had 30 seconds, maybe less. Reckless Rex dodging bullets. So now we're okay. I can't really walk back there. I'm too tired. I guess I could take a little nap and then hike back out there and get it. Can drop the rifle because we showed what we wanted to with that, and we got ourselves a big old bear, 35 kilos of fresh meat to look forward to. We'll hold on to the pistol and maybe do some work with that just to play with it. And still only halfway through the day. We got so tired. I guess maybe the cold knocks it out of you too. I'm not sure. But that was a scary one, I'm not gonna lie. We have a first aid kit in this trailer. We don't. Maybe our bed stand is our first aid kit. Keep a couple of those just in case it gets desperate. I'm trying to think of what I want to do. I definitely want to get back out there and pick up the rest of that meat. If you leave it for too long, it will like deteriorate and disappear. So you really have to get it after you harvest it. Otherwise it's gone and never to be seen again. So, I'm kind of stuck right now. I need a better place to make a fire. I wonder if I can take some wood and go across the yard. This wind is just in my face. That looks like it would be a good spot. Might just have to have like rotating fires. I need to cook up some of this bear meat because I'm getting hungry. I might even lose well fed. I'm getting so hungry. 40 minutes, it might be too long. And if the wind blows out this fire, it's going to be see what 40 minutes looks like. Does it show? Does it show my health? I'm gonna keep a close eye on our condition because we are at like 10%. Another mistake get us in some trouble. I think what I'm gonna do is cook up the meat that we have, go to sleep, and I'm gonna call it a day for this episode. And then we'll come back in the morning. Look, the wind shifted again. It's just not allowing me keep a fire going here. The wind is coming from here now, which maybe means the blizzard is ending, but what it definitely means is that I'm wasting wood. And I'm not cooking. So where can we go? The wind isn't going to get us. I mean, there for now, but then it'll shift again, right? try it. I've got a different idea to try to do, just so that we don't go hungry. Because the fire is not cooperating and it's getting a little desperate for the time that it's going to take to even cook the meat as is. So what I'm going to do is try to make a little bit of mushroom tea. Mushroom tea is a natural antibiotic, and it will prevent you, well, it'll help to cure food poisoning. So before I forget, I'm just going to go grab this uncooked bear meat. And I don't think you have to worry about parasites in Pilgrim mode. If this were even Voyager, maybe not Voyager, but you get into the harder difficulties and the predator meat has parasites. But raw meat can give you food poisoning. So it even tells you eating raw meat can make you sick. Continue. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to eat it, and sure enough, we got the food poisoning. So I'm going to keep eating it until I'm completely full, because you can't get a double food poisoning. Once you have food poisoning, you have food poisoning. So we're just going to eat all of this raw meat, just like a savage. And then we made that mushroom tea, which is going to neutralize the negative effects of the food poisoning. So you can see I did the treatment for the food poisoning with the cup of tea. You can also use natural or over-the-counter antibiotics. And then we just need to sleep for 10 hours. So the only downfall to this is, like, now we're not going to go hungry, so that's good. We're not going to regain any condition. We're going to stay at that like 10%. But we won't die. So we'll just sleep for 12 hours, because we don't have anything to do in the middle of the night anyways. And we'll wake up, we'll be healed from food poisoning, and we'll be fully fed. And then we can mess with the fire tomorrow. So we'll wake up and we'll say good morning, and then we'll sign off, and we'll pick up on the next episode to go get the rest of that bear meat. Sounds like there's an aurora in the middle of the night. Alright, so there we are. It's night is ending. Oh, look at that. He did recover. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought he was going to stay at that 10% and just recover from food poisoning. But we actually solved all of the problems. And we could do that again, because now we've got an extra cup of tea. So if the fire won't cooperate with us and it gets desperate again, just go for it like a caveman. And then make sure you've got some antibiotics on hand. The ration tea, which comes from the mushrooms. Sleep for 10 hours and rinse and repeat. So, all right, we're going to sign off there. We'll go ahead and look down the hall here and save the game. And thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you on the next episode. We'll go get the rest of that bear meat. We'll clear out the lock boxes from the mementos, and we will craft some items in the workshop. See you on the next one.